All right, team. It is January 13th, market open. The market's down about 1.2% right now. We can get into the reasons why in a little bit, but the game plan for today is I was looking to potentially go short here on Meta, but it's already selling off right here about a minute before market open. So that's unfortunate. I don't really like to take trades in the pre-market. Sometimes we do, not usually. There's just not enough liquidity. So instead, since Meta's already kind of playing out our trade idea, we're going to sit and wait. We're going to see what the market wants to do because it is pretty oversold. It's got some decent reason to be down here. But overall, we're going to wait for a better setup. We want to see if the market wants to drop at market open and then reverse and break out higher and start trending to the upside, or if we want to consolidate a little bit and then break out lower. Either way, we want for the dust to settle so we can decide where the market wants to go. I mean, right now we're really oversold. At this point, we might start to reverse higher, but too soon to say. So let's check this out. Get rid of this since it's already, the moment's passed on that. I think that's already about, what is that like? Yeah, about 3R. That's too bad. They really jumped the gun on us there in market open. Right now the market's pretty flat. Looks like it's just Meta that's selling off pretty hard. I mean, and other stocks, but overall the market's still pretty flat. So we'll probably have a couple minutes to talk here, so I'll just let you guys know why the market's down. You don't really need to know the fundamentals or the economics of it really, because they're all priced in to the price in real time. So you don't necessarily need to know why the market is down, but just for the fun of it, basically we're going to get some pretty important economic data over the next couple days and throughout the rest of the week. And the bond market is concerned that the economic data is going to come in really good, which is then going to make bonds sell off and interest rates go up, which then basically cost companies money because companies borrow money on interest, and so that makes it harder for them to make money. So anyway, basically the stock market or the tech side of things on the NASDAQ is selling off a little bit because of concern over the bond market interest rates. All right, there's that potential reversal we're looking for to the upside. We're pretty oversold here on the NASDAQ. Usually the market likes to fill the gap first before making a big move. So we'll see, but I'm a little partial towards moving back to the upside. Even though our trade idea on Meta was to go short. Might be oversold here too. We're not quite in that oversold territory. That'd be probably more around here. Would be a safer bet to buy. Good morning. What is up? Oh, this Meta trade. All right, there's the market. Looks like it's dropping a bit. Let's see. Ooh, are we going to get a breakout to the downside? That'd be really aggressive for the market to move down towards like 496 without even filling the gap to 502. Pretty aggressive. Avgo. I wonder if they had news this morning or something. Or they're just really Yeah, oversold. And then a lot of investors are buying. They've been really bullish ever since earnings on Avgo. I'm sure a lot of investors have been waiting to buy this. I think the same thing might happen in Oracle here soon. Oracle's getting really oversold. I mean, their earnings recently weren't as good, but oh, what? What the heck? All right, let me fix that. Sorry about that. Let's see. It's probably because I just moved this whole setup. There, you should be able to see this now. Yeah, we're looking at Avgo. Sorry about that. It's because we're in Colorado now, and I guess it just didn't remember which screen to be on. Looking for something that might be good to the upside. I don't really like Palantir that much, but we are getting a really clean breakout here. A little too aggressive. I don't like to jump in at first, especially Palantir. Not a big fan. It's been selling off a lot, but it's definitely a setup on the 5-minute time frame. I'm not really interested in taking that one, but that does meet a little bit of our criteria. Oh, I wonder why Meta's still dropping this hard compared to other tech stocks. I didn't see it have any real news this morning. If it didn't have news and we're just down here, then it is getting a little oversold and we might be able to look for a reversal. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything. What's this? This is a small price target raise. Yeah, I mean, it looks like mostly buy ratings were added this morning, right? Interesting. It looks like the market might be dropping a little bit and breaking out to the downside. I'm not too interested in taking that trade. I feel like that one's pretty oversold here, to be honest, which normally I don't care about, but in this circumstance, what I'm basically saying is that I don't think that there's that much room to run to the downside right now. It definitely could if it wanted. We could move down to like 497, but just a little rich for my blood at the moment. Tesla's looking to break out and reverse to the upside. I wonder if it's mostly the Magnificent 7 that's dropping. No, I mean, Microsoft looks good. Okay, Apple and Meta are dropping. Oops. And Google. Okay, so yeah, a lot of those, except Microsoft. Love Microsoft. Oh, actually, that's a pretty good breakout there. I don't usually like to day trade Microsoft, but it's pretty decent. It's hard to find a trade after the move has already happened. You know, that's why I like to trade market open and I like to be prepared. But sadly, this one on Meta just got away from us there in the pre-market. Let's see. I'm sure there's something. I wouldn't be surprised if we got a reversal to the downside in Palantir here, but I don't know if we're going to get an entry. I want an entry around $65, and we don't have confirmation yet, so we'd really need some consolidation. Then we could enter around 65, potentially back to the downside, or to the upside if that's what it looks like. But this is about the only thing that I see that's forming a setup at the moment. Maybe Meta. Yeah, Meta's just like really oversold right now. But the problem with Meta is that I don't think we're going to get any consolidation before we move back to the upside. As you can see, a ton of buyers just stepped in as soon as it hit this level that we were waiting for. I drew that out probably like 5 minutes ago, saying that that's when it'd be oversold because of this price action we've seen over the last month. But I don't like to buy without confirmation, so they might want to just buy at this $599 immediately with no confirmation, but I don't like to do that. I feel like that has a significantly lower win rate. I mean, we're still trending to the downside. It's just not how we trade. Interesting. And I would just stick to the NASDAQ. Like, you guys can definitely just practice trading on the NASDAQ and not jumping around on stocks like this. I just do this because stocks have a little bit more leverage. When you buy the NASDAQ, it's very expensive. It's like about $500 right now. So it's pretty expensive. But if you're trading the NASDAQ on futures, that's not really a problem because you get so much leverage. Or if you're trading options, but options, you have time decay and then there's not enough liquidity, so then you lose a little bit of money in slippage on the spread. Anyway, if the market were to sell off more from here, we might be able to enter a reversal to the downside here on Avgo. Let's see where the market is. Yeah, market's still moving to the downside. I really don't know how much further it can go. I mean, we could definitely go lower. I just think it's maybe a little dramatic. Could definitely get a reversal here to the downside on Avgo. Not my favorite trade idea. Give this one maybe like, I don't know. I'm wary about it because I don't know how much lower the market will go. And because we have a lot of buyers currently is all I'm seeing. But at the moment, I'm going to give it like a 6 out of 10. We'll see if we get more confirmation and if my confidence on this trade goes up. But at the moment, I'm just drawing out this trade idea just in case. But I'm not too interested in it yet. This is a really good example, by the way, of kind of how my brain works when trading. Is when I see something I maybe kind of like, I like to draw out a trade idea just to get it on my mind. And then, I normally don't even feel too confident at that point. And then I like to wait for more confirmation. So that could be maybe this candle prints and then a new one forms and we slowly start to break to the downside. Or maybe another candle closes near the bottom and then a new one opens and we start to move to the downside. Maybe at the same time the market starts selling off a lot, things like that. But definitely not seeing it right now. And overall, I'm bullish on Avgo from a swing trading standpoint. Ooh, we might get a reversal idea in Meta here, actually. Let's go ahead and remove this because it doesn't look like that's going to come to fruition. So Meta here. starting to form this price level right at 503. Maybe if we break above 503, we can move back to the market open price. Yeah, the Nasdaq's reversing, which is what we've been waiting for. Something like this. Probably need a little bit bigger of a stop loss. Probably about $2. Probably about a $2 stop loss there. Start a little lighter on that. Yeah, this candle on the daily time frame could look pretty good if we make it back above like 603, because then we might be able to make it back to market open, and then the candle would turn green and we'd make it to maybe like 610. Nothing too crazy, but it's very possible that we make it back to 3R. It all depends on what we think the market's going to do. And right now the market's doing the same thing. We're reversing to the upside. We're back above 501. That's looking pretty decent. Risk to reward on this could be better. And it could continue to the downside. So let's just go ahead and wait. See what happens. If we miss this trade, that's all right. I like to see a lot of confirmation and a lot of things going right before we enter a trade. So let's just see if it does what we want. If not, or if it just jumps the gun on us, that's fine. You know, missing a trade is never a bad thing. It's okay to miss a trade. There are so many trades to take. Don't worry about it. You never want to be the guy who doesn't want to miss a trade. If you never want to miss a trade, you're just going to take trades all the time, and that's really going to lower your standards, and it's going to lower what you look for in a trade and how good you have to feel, how confident you have to feel in that trade, and you just really lower your standards and get into that habit where you're taking even worse trades and worse trades. So we don't do that here. Right now we're watching how the market's reacting at this price level. Just trying to figure out which direction to go. Wow, Avgo. Look at you. A slight price target raised on Avgo. Meanwhile, Meta gets multiple and is down a lot. It's all just based on trader sentiment. And looks like a lot of traders were waiting to pick up this dip in Avgo. Nice. A lot of sellers here in Meta. It's really kind of ruining our trade idea to the upside. If we have this many sellers here in Meta, then that means that we're less likely to move to the upside when we get a breakout. I don't like how many sellers we have here, but I mean, if we do move back above 503, a lot of sellers might have to close their position, which would add to the buying, but overall, a lot of sellers here. Let's check on some other things. What else do we have? Oh, Home Depot breaking out to the upside for a swing trade. Gonna have to look at that one. And I guess I'll add in a video here. Okay, that should be good. Put a price alert here on Meta. If these sellers get rejected really quickly, that could be really good to the upside. Adjust the stop loss looking okay. Yeah, if these sellers get rejected really fast like this, then that could be really good for our trade to the upside. Oh, there's our potential entry. Let's see here. Let me check back on the market. Market is slightly reversing to the upside. I would really prefer to wait for this candle to close before we enter our trade and to see a little bit more buying. There's only 20 seconds left on this candle, so hopefully it closes before. I really don't want it to run without us. It's looking pretty decent. I like how these sellers are getting rejected really badly. Market's still struggling a bit. We only have maybe like, we have a little bit of confirmation, certainly not that much. Market could still go either way, but I'm pretty sure that sometime this morning the market will probably make it back up to 503 to close that gap, or at least try to move back to 503, which is to the upside, in case you're not looking at that one. I want to look at this Home Depot trade as well. I guess I'll just pull it up on my phone. Yeah, so little volume in Home Depot, it's just crazy. 500,000 volume at this time in the morning is so low. That's absolutely nothing. Market's still kind of stuck at this price level, so we're not getting the market confirmation that I like to enter this trade. Kind of moving up. All right. Yeah, the market's moving up too. This is looking decent. So many sellers in Meta though. I'm going to give this trade like a 6 out of 10. I'm not really impressed. I don't know if we're going to take this one. If I weren't with you guys, I wouldn't take this trade, by the way, because Tesla's breaking out. That's nice. To the upside. But yeah, if I were sitting here alone, not trading with you guys, I wouldn't take this trade. So I think we just move on, even if it wants to move up. And the reason why is because the NASDAQ is still stuck in this range. As you know, price levels act like magnets. So we're kind of still just stuck in this consolidation. See if I can draw this out. And we have this little bit of resistance and support. So I would feel a lot better once we got a move out of this range. And once we get a move to the upside, that's a little late. You know, there's not too much to move to the upside, so I don't really like that. But that's basically why I'm not looking at the Meta trade. Plus Meta's being really bearish. Lots of sellers still fighting it out. Oops. There's the confirmation. There's the buy. I don't think we're going to take that trade, but if this had a potential of 5R, like let's just say that back up here at $610, let's say that would be a 5R win, then sure, this might be worth the risk. because if it moves only part of the way, we would still make a good amount that would make up for the kind of lower accuracy of this like B minus trade. But 3R is not that great. It's not really worth the risk, but I tend to be pretty right on a lot of trades. I tend to miss some trades even when I'm right, as you saw the sell-off in Meta this morning, the move up right now in Meta. I don't really mind. I mean, I see so many trades, I call them out constantly, and I tend to be right most of the time, so there's plenty more. Okay, let me check. Let's check on Tesla, since we got that breakout from this morning. Oh, it's still breaking out. Honestly, I would feel better, maybe feel better about this Tesla trade to the upside. See what this would look like. What was the other one I got? Oh, MicroStrategy. I put a price alert here at 316 on MicroStrategy. I think that was about 20 minutes ago. Also, yeah, my father-in-law is getting pretty big surgery right now. Like he's literally currently in the operating room. So, not looking to like over trade this morning. Wow, Avgo, what is going on? So yeah, sorry if it's a little bit of a slow and risk off morning today. Just got a lot going on, I would say. And yeah, some of these trades have been decent, but nothing's quite calling my name yet. I should check one thing. Waiting for this potential sell-off in Avgo. Wonder if we'll get something like this. It's really trending to the upside though. The reason why I'm looking for a reversal partly is because, now the Nasdaq has closed the gap mostly to the upside here. So here's the daily chart. It basically got to that wick right around that 503 level. So it's definitely possible that it could reverse from here. The market likes to do that. When you start off really low with a gap, sometimes it likes to let buyers run it back up to fill the gap before sellers step in to move it back lower, because that's how you get the best risk to reward. If you let the buyers step in and they have their fun, and then you let them give up, and then you enter your trade up really high here, and then you go lower, then you can get a really good risk to reward with much higher accuracy and just better win rate all around. So that's why I'm looking at this reversal in Avgo. Yeah, this is a pretty prime place to reverse to the downside on Avgo. although it's being very stubborn to the upside, so it is a little risky. But I am liking this potential trade idea. Market's reversing pretty hard to the downside at the moment. You know, it's only the first candle, but it's getting rejected really hard at the moment. We could also get a breakdown to the downside on Palantir here, which is consolidated and looking pretty decent. So, yeah. Yeah, a short trade on Palantir is looking pretty good right now. Stop loss about, what was that, 40 cents maybe? Yeah, potentially do that. And then this Avgo one might also confirm in a little bit. So I'm going to keep my eye on these two. I'll show you guys the Palantir trade real quick. Here's the Palantir one. But it hasn't confirmed yet. Obviously, we're still in a lot of choppiness. It might still want to run up again, but we'll see. It's pretty oversold on the daily time frame, but there have been a lot of bears here recently who are selling it, so I wouldn't be surprised if we got a pretty big sell-off. And the risk to reward's pretty good on it too. Looks like the trade is about to take off. Check. Yeah, market's still selling off. I need to use a bigger stop loss from here, to be honest, with the way it's forming. Yeah, maybe about 45 cents. Could go light into this if it confirms to the downside and then look to add to it. I'm gonna check back in on the chat with you guys. Haven't been looking for a little while because all these trade ideas popping up. 396 on Home Depot. Let's see. I mean, yeah, technically it is still in a range under 396, but basically the trade idea is that you would buy at 391 with maybe like half of your position, and then wait for like a really strong breakout of 396 to add your full position. That would be like the double confirmation that would get you into your full position. Luckily, we are only in Costco in our swing trade. Meanwhile, the whole stock market's selling off and Costco has been holding up really nicely. I have a tendency of kind of knowing when the tech market might sell off, and then I switch to trading things like Home Depot, Berkshire Hathaway, Costco. There's a couple others that aren't tech that I like. Yeah, sometimes the best trade's the trade you don't take, but that's all right because if you get into the mentality of, I mean, yeah, I agree that successful traders are made in the trades that they don't take. You have to know when not to trade. Just like in December, we knew not to trade. We didn't take very many trades in December and we risked very little because, yeah, just market conditions. Not every day is perfect. So, therefore, we shouldn't over risk every day. What up, CZ? Nice to have you here. On Meta, would you factor in the potential to fill the gap between 609? Yeah, let's go ahead and check on that. Let me just check on not Palantir. What's the other one? Avgo real quick. Yeah, Avgo's still holding up. Yeah, let me check on that Meta one for you. Fill the gap between 609 and 615. I mean, I'm not really seeing any. Oh, let me check on that from the 5-minute time frame standpoint. 609 to 615. I mean, that's really small, and a lot of the movement would have already made the run. Like maybe I'll try this out a little bit. Let me move my phone. The entry that I prefer is more so in this area. That way we can get to at least 3 times our risk by the time we make it up to here. If you were to enter all the way up to here, there's barely any reward to be made to 615. So there's a lot less reward, and so it makes the trade less, I don't know. I just want to be as interested, and a lot of other traders would potentially be less interested, which means that this probably wouldn't move, really, really large like this, because there won't be enough traders like me who are really interested in taking that trade, and therefore they won't be buying. And if they're not buying, then how's price going to move up? That's why we try to only take trades with really good risk to reward that are very obvious, because if they have a good reward and if they're obvious, then it's likely that a lot of other traders are going to see that trade and take the same trade idea that we are. Ooh, is the market moving up? Oh yeah, we're okay. Looks like the market wants to potentially trend, but I mean, we haven't even broken out above 503, so a little early to say. Let's see. This is exactly why we always wait for confirmation before we enter our trades, because a lot of trades where we just get the idea, they don't always come to fruition. They don't always really ever even turn into the trade. Like, we never got this breakout of consolidation lower. We never got the confirmation on the NASDAQ to move lower. So that's exactly why we wait. Not really interested in this Palantir one. Sure, we could find something that might have potential to break out to the upside. I know Tesla was in a holding pattern last we looked. That looks like it broke out. Today's been a little mixed. I feel like the market is looking to go down, then it moves up, then it moves down, then it moves up. So it's just been a little mixed. We've been all over the place. I mean, look at this. Lots of choppiness. It's hard for us to get a lot of confirmation when the market's constantly arguing and indecisive. So that's why we're seeing so many trade ideas, but none of them are really worth taking, and we're not getting that confirmation because meanwhile the market isn't even decided. Glad we didn't take this one. The market's just too choppy. Too many sellers here. Oh, is Avgo gonna break down for us? All right, we might go light into this one. See if we can add to it in all the choppiness. Let's see. Yeah, $2. I need about a $1.50 stop loss should be good. Might go a little lighter on this for a starter position. I'm gonna pull up the market. Market's reversing again. You know, who knows if it's gonna have any follow through to the downside. It's still in a range, still being choppy. All right, we're gonna enter a, what's going on here? Oh, whoops. All right, there we go. Stop loss is a little smaller than I meant. Might raise that a little bit. I'm expecting this to fight back against me a bit. You know, we've been trending to the upside. There are a lot of buyers. The market's still in a range, so I'm expecting it to put up a little bit of a fight. That's why my stop loss is a little bigger than usual. You know, sometimes I like those really small aggressive stop losses. This one, I have it a little bigger in case it wants to pull back. We went in light. That way, overall, the trade idea is that market's still in a range. There's a lot of buyers. So I'm expecting this to potentially try to fight me, right? So I use a bigger stop loss and I go in light. And then once it stops fighting me and we get more confirmation, then I can add my full position. So in other words, I'm betting, let me get a brighter color. I'm betting that this might want to fight me a little bit like this and then potentially break down. And that's when I would add my full position. That's kind of the idea, because the market's being really choppy. We got a lot of buyers here. Same with Palantir. There's basically the same trade idea in Palantir. And Palantir honestly might work better because there are probably more sellers waiting on the sidelines in Palantir, as we've seen with all the choppiness. And over the last 2 weeks, a lot of sell-off in Palantir. So there are probably more sellers waiting to go short in Palantir than in Avgo. So we might even take a trade here on Palantir to the downside. All right, our trade idea is working so far in Avgo, which I pulled up on another screen. I normally don't take 2 trades at once, but honestly, this is the same trade idea, and I kind of like this one in Palantir. 64.90. Could maybe get away with maybe like a 35-cent stop loss, maybe 40. Yeah, could maybe get away with, let's keep it at 40. All right, the Avgo position is selling off a little bit. Probably lower the stop loss here in a little. We're going to go light in Palantir as well because we're basically taking the same trade idea on Avgo and Palantir, which means if one reverses against us, they might both reverse. So I don't want to, go huge into both positions when they're the same trade idea, because then you're basically risking twice as much risk on the same trade idea. And yeah, I'm not interested in doing that on this trade. We'll see if we start to get a move lower in Palantir. I am going to move our stop loss a little lower on Avgo to about 227.60. That way now we're only risking about half of a position. I need a third monitor to see how the market's doing right now. All All right, there's a little bit of confirmation. Obviously, there is this price level where buyers might step in at 64.50, but that's a potential area where we could add. Market's still being choppy. I might lower the stop loss even more on Avgo. Let me just check the market real quick. We're in a range. And remember, everything above 501 is a buy. Everything below 501 is a potential sell once we get confirmation that sellers are stepping in. So right now we're at a risky potential buy level where it might reverse, but at the same time we might go lower. So we're gonna stay in our trade until we're proven wrong. It is a little risky to go short in Palantir since we are just now getting to that buy level, but overall it's worth taking. We're gonna wait for a moment just because Avgo is still being a little slow. I'll pull up Avgo and then I'll watch the market and we'll stick to this trade for the moment now that the market's getting to this price level that's pretty important. So I'll draw this out just real quick. The trade idea is that everything beneath this level is a sell, and everything above that level is a buy. All we need now is for more sellers to step in and confirm a trend to the downside, which we're still waiting because obviously the market is being very choppy. I would love to see a breakdown to the downside in the market, but if it starts to reverse back up, we might have to close this trade on either break even or like a very, very small loss. We went very light into this, so we can add to this position if the market breaks down to the downside, which I wouldn't be surprised if it did. Yeah, in hindsight, we probably should have gone in maybe with a little bit of a smaller stop loss. But not much we can do about it now. Okay, I'm pulling back up the chat in case you guys, okay. Well, this trading is making me hungry. Hope my father-in-law is doing all right with the surgery. Oh wait, what was that? Oh, what part of Denver did you live? Lived in Aurora by Buckley Air Force Base. Is that what that is? No way. That's so funny. I lived in, oh nice. I don't know if the same guy who messaged me in Discord is in the YouTube chat right now with us, but just in case, I lived in Littleton in southwest Denver in Littleton for like my whole life. And then I bought a home kind of by the Cherry Creek area, right on the border of Denver and Aurora. And I still own that home and rent it out. So That's actually what I was doing yesterday as I went over to that home to check in on it, to grab some things and do a little bit of work. Looks like Bitcoin is, wait, actually, was that breaking down to the, check on Bitcoin. Bitcoin reversing back up into the range. That would be pretty bullish for MicroStrategy. QQQ's reversing a little bit. We're going to lower our stop loss to break even on Avgo because the market's reversing a little. Obviously, we could keep selling off, so I want to still be in this trade, but I'm going to reduce the stop loss just a little because I'm not currently seeing the confirmation in the market that I would like to. Maybe a little more from there. We might get stopped out basically at break even on Avgo, which would be a shame. We'll see. But at least we got a free trade, which is what Warren Buffett says is, it's like having a free lottery ticket. I'm going to check on MicroStrategy. Oh yeah, MicroStrategy is trending hard to the upside. It's breaking out right now. Could definitely get a reversal or move higher in MicroStrategy. Pull it up for you guys. This stock follows Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's pulling back up into an important price range. Yeah, this makes a lot of sense. There is a potential trade there, although it's already running without us. But this is what that trade idea would look like. I haven't prepared enough to take this trade, so I'm not just going to jump into it. I haven't really thought about it or prepared, but that's what the trade idea would potentially look like. We'd have to look at Bitcoin, we'd have to make some decisions, and we just don't have the time with how it's already breaking out. Not a big fan of these slow trades. I like trades where we're really confident and we risk a lot and they move, they have a lot of momentum. So on the breakout, they start to move in our direction immediately. Those are the trades that I like. Those are the A+ ones. This one is doing all right. I like that we're only seeing sellers in this so far, even though the market's moving back up. A lot of indecision in the market today. I see a lot of other stocks that are stopping and consolidating at price levels because they don't know which direction to go. Nvidia is consolidated at this price level here, so this could be a potential trade if we were to sit here and watch it, but we're focusing on Avgo. Meta, same thing. We're at an important price level and consolidated, so it's kind of thinking about picking a direction. Palantir still selling off. Nasdaq still in the range. Yeah, very choppy today. All right, well, we're at 1R on Avgo. So I don't really get out of bed for 1R. But it's better than nothing. Oh, got some chats going on. Yeah, I'm not seeing any trends, which it makes sense why we're not getting trends. We opened up very low, pretty oversold on the Nasdaq. It tried to reverse, failed, and now it's just stuck in consolidation. So yeah, I mean we're definitely stuck in consolidation right now on the market. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, he's a trooper. I think I'm more like I can't think of another word, but like squeamish or like more of a pussy about it than he is. You know, he's like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna go get both knees replaced at the same time, and I hate the thought of surgery. Not fun. I'll tell you guys a fun fact just because we got a small group here, and you guys are some of the first people who ever joined this program, which is a lot of fun. Uh, I got the end of my finger cut off by a motorcycle, the motorcycle chain. I used to ride motorcycles. I had a Honda CBR 1000. It's one of the top four sport bikes. It's like a 200-mile-an-hour bike. And I was cleaning the chain where you have the engine running and the chain moving, and I was cleaning it, and my friend came over and mentioned something to me, and as I was cleaning it, my hand kind of, well, my finger went through the chain, and yeah, sorry for the gnarly story at 8:30 a.m. Yeah, thank you, Wilfred. You guys are the best. Oh man, no way. That's literally the bike that I picked out and got for my friend Nick, who lives over here in Colorado. That's so funny. And that's so funny. Literally that day when I got my finger cut off, my friend Nick, we were hanging out together because we had just got him his motorcycle license that day. So we were cleaning our bikes together. So it was me with my CBR and him with his Yamaha. And yeah, that's so crazy. Good trades work immediately. Yeah, yeah, agreed. Hard to find that today. But luckily we're patient, so we're just sitting here in this very slow trade. I'm gonna move the stop loss down. No sense in having a loss on something that we're already a little over 1R. Yeah, ouch. Not fun. Hate getting stopped out on consolidation. That's why we try to stay real safe, real cautious, take very few trades, but yeah, I get that. But luckily, you did real small positions. That's good. And I'm sure that the trade idea that you had was probably, you probably had your reasons why you wanted those trades, and then they just didn't quite work out. So that's all right. Glad you went light. And I do miss motorcycles. When I bought that house in Scottsdale, which we still own and just, down the road, a 12-hour drive from here, uh, when when I was living there for the last year in Scottsdale, it has such great weather that every day I was telling my fiance, I was like, "Yeah, I need to get a bike." But I'm just joking because now we're getting married and potentially having kids. I can't be doing that risky stuff, but it's such a perfect place for having a motorcycle. Ooh, a Gixxer, the GSXR. Oh, at ASU, at Arizona State University, down in Tempe. Hell yeah! Wow, what are the odds that like it's crazy. We got people out here from Aurora, Colorado, over by me. We got people from Arizona all the time. Motorcycles. Oh, Gilbert, nice. Yeah, Gilbert's cool. No way. I've uh I've stayed at a couple homes in Gilbert. It's pretty nice. I also like Chandler, but Chandler's pretty far away. And there are only a couple areas of Chandler that I really like. I actually live over by I live in Old Town, like right by Fashion Square Mall. I don't even shop. I'm not very flashy, as you know, but I love being around rich people. I like seeing the nice cars. I like, the nice, clean stuff. Uh, I like going out to dinner with my fiance, so I love Scottsdale. It's been really great. I lived in Denver my whole life, found Scottsdale, thought about it for a couple years, and I love it. I'm excited to go back in March. In 2 months from now, we're gonna be there for maybe like a month and a half before I go to Japan and then I'm going to go back and we're going to move back in September after the summer. But right now we want to see friends and family. We're seeing everyone. We're seeing my mom, seeing my sister, all in different locations. Her dad, her mom, my friends, bachelor party, wedding. I'm enjoying the traveling. There's 1.5 hour. That's pretty nice. And I've been chatting so much I haven't even looked at what the market's doing. Let me pull that up real quick. Oh, there's that sell-off in NVIDIA. As I said, we're in Avgo, so I wasn't going to focus on NVIDIA, but there's that consolidation in the breakout, so that's pretty nice. I felt like there was maybe one other. I think it's Palantir. Yep, there's that trade idea in Palantir. Beautiful. Love it. Love it, love it. All right, where are we? Damn, I wish we got a little more of an opportunity to add into this. I didn't see anything that really met like where I would normally take a trade. So there wasn't really a place for me to add. What is that? It's just a silly notification. We might get stopped out here. Let me actually check on where the market's at. Oh, it's just a slight pullback. Oh, it's a big pullback now. I'm comfortable with where our stop loss is here. It's right above the previous high of the previous candle. That's about how much I want to risk. The market's moving back up a lot, so I'm losing a little bit of confidence in this trade. It's been moving very slow. I haven't been too interested, so we'll see. But I also think we could just keep moving down from here, so we'll see. This is exactly where I want my stop loss. I'm pretty happy with it. So I'll head back to the chat over here. Yeah, good restaurants. Yeah, downtown Gilbert. That place is fun. And like downtown Chandler. Very small. Kind of old timey. I like that Gilbert one. I haven't done much exploring in Arizona yet. I still haven't made it to the Grand Canyon. Haven't been to Flagstaff. I've gone to Sedona a few times, which is really nice. Haven't even been to what is it? Lake Havasu. But I have been to Horseshoe Canyon and Lake Powell in Page. Yeah, total snooze fest. But, at least we're not over trading and losing money fighting the market. But agreed, it is pretty lame when we're just sitting here where we went light, we're not getting confirmation. All those things, you can feel them subconsciously. Like right now, oh, Costco. Oh no, our Costco trade. All right, looks like we might get stopped out here. I'll look back at the market. Oh yeah, market's not broken out to the upside yet, but all right, if it wants to stop us out, like that's fine. This trade has not been what I typically look for. I have a rule that I like to tell people that's helped me a lot over the years, which is that I said this in a reel before. The market has to meet my standards and do what I want, or I walk away. So basically, what I mean by that is think of this as like a relationship. Like if the market were like your girlfriend or something like that, or like someone you just started dating, they have to live up to your standards, be nice, be polite, respectable, just look, or they just have to be the things that you're looking for. Otherwise, like, no hard feelings, but I'm not going to stick around. I'm not going to continue getting to know somebody that isn't what I want. I know what I want. I know what I want in a partner. I know what I want in a trade. And either that stock, that market has to meet my expectations, or I don't want to be in the trade anymore. So yeah, that's just kind of how I view it. And that's how you get good at everything in life. If you want to run a business, if you want a really good career, if you want whatever you want, you get very, very clear on it. Just it takes time, it takes a bit of experience, but just continuously get more and more clear on exactly what you want, and then don't settle for anything else. That's how I made a lot of the biggest improvements in my life, in myself, in my relationships, in the houses I lived in, like where I decided to move, the jobs I took. Yeah. Yeah. I get that. Um, I used to scalp when I was a beginner, like in my first year, and it's emotion based, a lot of it. Like when you really understand all the concepts of trading, you start to realize that scalping doesn't really meet a lot of those concepts, or like, so anyway, a lot of beginners get stuck in scalping because of emotions. So they enter a trade, and as it moves in their direction, they get nervous. So then they close the trade. Or, like, same thing, it starts to reverse against them. So they freak out. So they close the trade. So it's constantly emotion based. So it's like enter on emotions, it goes up, exit on a small win because of emotions, or exit on a small loss because of emotions. And you're not really like fulfilling the full trade idea, and that makes it very hard to trade because then it's very emotional. And then the thing about scalping is when you have a trade that does work, you can't hold on to it. It starts to move in your direction. You're so used to things reversing because you're like trading for pennies. So you immediately close your position, and then it just keeps going in your direction. And you're like, wow, all I had to do was hold on to that trade, and I could have made 10 or 20 times as much as I made. So scalping is a dangerous one. It is possible to get good at scalping. It is possible to make good money scalping and be a successful trader. But what a lot of these people don't understand who like argue with me on Instagram is that most people who get into scalping do it because they're beginners and it's emotion based. They're not really doing it because they understand how to like have large wins. And when you scalp like that, it makes it really hard to swing trade, and it makes it impossible to invest. So it's just, yeah, it is what it is. Oh, I love that. Yeah, I'm glad you joined. I'm glad you're here. It's been really fun, like helping you guys and talking to you. It's a lot of fun, and yeah, I like to think that watching me live trade helps a lot. Um, I love answering the questions, talking about anything that you guys need, and just like showing you that it's not about forcing trades or like looking for trades or trying to predict every move. We're just looking for things that meet our standards, and if they don't quite meet the standards and we miss a good trade, that's fine. I mean, you guys see me miss trades all the time. I wanted that short in Meta this morning. That was like 5R. We didn't take that. There's like maybe 1 or 2R to the upside in Meta that we missed. We missed this one in Palantir. We missed that one in NVIDIA. There are trades all the time. There are so many trades. Who cares if you miss one? It's fine. And then the other thing for mindset about not over trading is we're not here to make money. We're here to get good at trading. We're here to practice our habits. We're here to only take the best trades. We're here to work on ourselves. That's how we make money. We get paid and we make money by working on ourselves and becoming better traders. That makes us money. If you're just somebody who's just trying to make tons of money immediately, like, you're gonna have a hard time. You might have some big wins here and there, but like in the long run, it's not a good mindset to have, and it causes a lot of FOMO, over trading, thinking your strategy is not good enough, and then changing it all the time. Trust me, I've done it all. I have a lot of experience. I think a lot. I study a lot. Anyway. Glad we get to talk trading. This is an interesting setup on Avgo. Oh, and as far as the mindset around scalping, of like how to maybe break out of that, there's one sentence that I read, or like a paragraph I read, that really stuck out to me, that helped me with holding on to winning trades. And it was part of that whole concept of how winning traders hold on to their wins, and most unsuccessful traders close their wins very early. So the line that I'm talking about is said that the biggest difference between successful traders and unsuccessful traders is the amount of time that a trader is in a winning trade. It's the amount of time that you hold on to your wins. So I thought that was very interesting. It wasn't that, successful traders had huge wins all the time or any of that. It's the amount of time, which basically means that when something is still going in their direction, like as you saw today with Avgo, when it was still very slowly moving in my direction, I still hold on to it. I mean, how long were we in that trade? It's not that long, but maybe like 20, 25 minutes. So that's how I've managed to have like 17-hour winners on my swing trades pretty consistently until recently, because the market's so flat. But amount of time holding on to winners, that's a good one that really stuck out to me. And that doesn't mean just hold on to every winner forever. We have our rules, but that's the concept that we try to follow. Hell yeah. All right, I'll look for a couple more trades here, but otherwise probably hop off here soon. Huh. Interesting stuff. So, as always, we're at a buy above this level, and above this level, and a buy up here, which I wouldn't really go for because it's just been really choppy this morning. But then we got a sell beneath here, and then we're at a sell beneath here. But given these choppy market conditions, I don't like to go for breakouts very much when things are choppy. I prefer to go for like a really good one when the market is so choppy, is going for like fake outs. So like, let's just say like this would have been a really good trade. So here's this price level. Let's say that price came down beneath it and stopped for a little and then broke back out to the upside. That would be a good reversal trade. We get the consolidation where as low as possible we're oversold, and then it's a buy up here. And then we get the maximum amount of runway to the upside, with the smallest stop loss because of this small consolidation. Like that right there, that's a pretty good setup. It's like an A setup, depending on market conditions. Ooh, getting some price alerts. What's happening? Oh yeah, just the NASDAQ. Okay. I might have to hop off here to help out with like my fiance and the family and to get some breakfast. Really interesting stuff going on here in the market. Let me check on the daily time frame. We definitely could make a breakout and run higher, but I'm not that interested in this yet. Maybe if we got like more confirmation and saw how price reacted, then maybe. But I'm not going to sit around for like the next 15 minutes to find out, just because I kind of got to do a little bit of some stuff. Pull up another chart real quick. I want to see if I can leave you guys with any potential trade ideas or anything to be on the lookout for. Meta might go up from here. Avgo is really wonky. Nvidia and Nvidia and Meta would be the ones that I might look to buy if the market continues higher. However, I'm not gonna buy on this breakout. Not yet. I would like to see some kind of like consolidation first, because right now we're kind of overbought. Things are really choppy. It might just run without us. It's very possible, but I'd like to see more confirmation. I don't know how much room we have to the upside. I'd have to look at that. But yeah, if we move to the upside from here, I think Nvidia's already starting to run, which is the problem. Could make it to 134. I'm not seeing anything that great, to be honest. Meta might be alright. Might be able to get away with a small stop loss and an entry here. The only problem with Meta is that there's been a lot of sellers and I've seen barely any buyers. We had a couple of buyers step in on our trade idea back here. They saw what we saw, they went for it, and then they got rejected. So in other words, there are a lot of sellers and there haven't been too many buyers. But if we get a breakout here to the upside, then that's kind of like the buyers winning. Sellers should give up at that point potentially. Not that great, but yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's supposed to be a really long and very painful recovery on knees, so not looking forward to that. I feel bad for him, but yeah, he should be good. He's a trooper. Yeah, happy to live trade with you guys. Lots of fun. Thanks so much, everybody. Hope everything goes well with your trading for the rest of the day. Don't trade for too long, especially in these market conditions. We like things that move in one direction with a lot of confidence. Today's being not that. So don't overtrade today. Stay safe. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. And I'll see you guys in the Discord chats. Thanks, everyone. See you, buddies.